Ah, lovely. Well, as soon as I learn how to send out requests or invites or whatever, as soon as I learn how to do that, I'll do it. But give me time. So anyway, welcome to my weekly live stream on TikTok on Fridays. Now, today's topic that is a rather interesting one, because I think it's one of the most misunderstood topics, and that's known as PK energy. Okay, well, there's another term for PK energy, in that it can either be called or considered psychokinesis, or it could be considered telekinesis. Okay, well, the difference between the two basically is psychokinesis is from the subconscious part of the mind, where telekinesis, and that I believe is from the front part. Okay, now I don't know how many people. I don't know how many of you have seen the episode of. Remember that TV show from back in the 70s, The Waltons? Okay, well, there's one episode that really stuck out in my mind. It was called The Changeling. Okay, and this is when Elizabeth, the youngest daughter, and that was, she was just turning 13, and she was, she was so used to being the youngest, and she wanted to continue being the youngest in challenge games and stuff like that. She was so used to that, but she was expected to grow up. And, hello! Like, you know how all young people, and especially adolescents and those who are going through puberty and have hormone raging and stuff like that. I know many of you have known of young children to be extremely rebellious, okay? Especially when they start experiencing new things, like different kinds of feelings, like sexual tension is one of the biggest, and that they're always right, no one's right, that they're always right, never wrong, they do everything their way. Okay, well, of course, that creates a lot of friction within the family. Okay, and that now in the past, that's always been for children. It's always believed to be children between, say, 12 and 13 or 12 and 14. Well, now some studies have suggested that now, because of all the different changes in our body chemistry and what we eat and what we do during the day, and that this is now affecting people or kids much younger, say 8 or 9, but regardless of age, and that these kids become so rebellious, okay, and the reason why they become rebellious, well, it could be anything. Okay, either they're not ready to grow up, they're afraid to grow up, they don't know what to expect when they grow up, they don't know what's expected of them. See, this is all new to them. Okay, they're so used to being innocent kids. Now they're becoming innocent young adults. I've never heard of an innocent young adult. But in this episode of the Waltons, and that Elizabeth is afraid to grow up. She's afraid to, face all the pressures of being a young adult. Okay, she's so used to being a child. She doesn't want to grow up. She's afraid. Okay, well, all that negative emotional energy, and that's by Bob and Sediver, all that negative energy is coming out. Okay, and it's been known that this negative energy, and that it's strong enough, and that can actually make little things move. Okay, like just little things, and that. The gamer, hey, London looks. Hello. And that, but it's interesting that, in the show, and that because because she was excited for a birthday party, but she was afraid to grow up. How's your day going? Absolutely amazing. And thank you very much for asking. Of course, all that bottled up negative emotions that she's releasing, and that eventually it almost becomes its own deity, because in real life, and that I've seen that has happened to children, and they develop this kind of a ball of stormy energy that's born out of this negative energy coming from the child. Hey, Jane! And next thing you know, things really start to happen. It's no longer just forks and knives and cups move along the table. Now things are being tipped over, items are being thrown. Well, you could say, like I said, if you get a chance to watch that episode of The Waltons where it's entitled "The Changeling," okay, well, that is perfect example of PK energy from an adolescent, and it is really good. And in fact, it's ideal for Halloween, because it's just that for some people it's unnerving. For me, it's educational. I really love it. Hey, Cousin Nick, stage 4 lung cancer. Okay, well, sending cheers and healing energy to Nick, poor Nick, where are you, my... buddy, okay, Axe, whatever your name is, that photo on my profile is copyrighted. So you stole my photo, so you're being reported. And if you think of scamming, don't. I'm not happy with you. Okay, everybody, we got someone in chat that's stolen a photo of me. So if they offers a reading or anything like that, asking for money or asking for anything, block them. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Nick, yeah, love and light and healing to you, and that, as well as your family as well. Yeah, so in that episode of the Waltons, and that, it has been, it's a very good idea to watch that. At least it'll give you an idea on what I'm talking about, okay? And that, because at the end of the show, when Elizabeth finally admits that she's terrified of growing up, and she just lets all her emotions flood out, guess what? All that poltergeist activity eases down. And the whole family tries to settle things down, like the windows were going up and down, and they couldn't get the door and the windows to close properly, and it was just all mayhem. Like I was quite impressed with the special effects. Okay, but in real life, there is no special effects. It's complete spirit. Okay, so that's basically what PK energy is. Basically, a psychokinesis, and that is the energy coming from the mind, and that being channeled out. And the scary part is that the host or the kid is not even aware they're doing this. They have no idea. Okay, it's it's something that the child is completely unaware of, but yet it's something that I think when a child becomes so rebellious and stuff like that, especially when it comes to their hormonal change time, and that's a good time, to sit down with a child and ask them, what's bothering you? Okay, why are you afraid of growing up? You want to experiment with stuff? Okay, this is actually a good time for the parents to interact with the child even more. Say, okay, you want to learn more about this, and this? Okay, well, we'll help you because we've been there. We'll help you. That way, hopefully it'll relieve some of the stress and that. But that's if the child wants it. But it's a good idea to monitor the child, make sure that no harm comes to them, and that. And but unfortunately, it's not just children that this kind of phenomena actually takes place. Unfortunately, it's not just children. Okay, it's older people as well. Okay, now I don't know if you remember a TV show that was on quite a few years ago. It was called The Dead Files, with a psychic and that cop. And they had one case where I think it was a grandmother that came to move, or either came to move with the family, or they came to visit with the family. And there was already tension in the family as it is. Okay, well, she came in to stay for a while, and apparently she had a lot of bottled up emotions inside of her, like really very deep. Well, there must have been a trigger in that house, because the next thing you know, things were flying around and dark shadows and all that kind of crap was going on in the house, and they couldn't figure out where this negative energy was coming from, where all this poltergeist activity, what was the cause of it. So they brought in that couple, that psychic and the cop, and that oh, bless you, Jay, and that, so they brought in that, and they found out that it was not the couple, it was not the house that was causing the activity. In fact, it was the grandmother. And the grandmother had no idea. Grandmother thought it was the couple or the house. So finally they figured out that it was the grandmother that that was causing all this. So they went to help the grandmother. And apparently she had to go for therapy or something like that. So then anyway, they got her help and that. And guess what? A lot of the poltergeist activity eased down because that stormy energy and that was no longer being fed. See, when the grandmother left, the stormy energy was no longer being fed. It was only when the grandmother arrived that stormy energy could be fed again. Just like when it comes to the doing dumb pop-ups and that. But so anyway, I hope this touched base with let's see, Peyton. Hey, Peyton, and that. So I hope this kind of makes a little bit of sense when it comes to what PK energy is. Now telekinesis, okay, I believe, okay, that's something you can actually control. Okay, you've heard of mind over matter. You've heard that term many, many times. Okay, well, some people can actually move items by mere thought. Like they concentrate on an item, and they can actually move a small item with the power of their mind. Okay, that's what's known as telekinesis. Is basically being able to move an object using energy rather than physically. Oh, I'm not surprised. There's bound to be a lot. You see, in that case, it's a lot of sexual tension and a lot of emotional tension. And what comes to me, if I was to open myself up completely, I feel everything. I go absolutely mental. But because I've learned how to control that, and that a lot of the negative energy that I get from people when I go out, I've learned to block. Because if I don't, I get drained awfully fast. And I'm trying to get other people to do the same. Especially empaths, sensitives, psychics, mediums, intuitives, whatever. And because it's not healthy to be open all the time. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to a leader, and that they have to be very, very careful. Like they cannot be open spiritually or emotionally to everybody all the time. Okay, they have to learn to control that. And that because it's such a sensitive matter. And that now I'm not against any of that kind of stuff. Okay, because I have no authority to do that. Okay, people have the right to choose who their partners are or who their friends are. Okay, I have no authority in that area. Okay, if you found your partner that you really enjoy, and that I say more power to you. I'm an empath. It's a super thing. It's super tiring. Sorry, super tiring. Hey, Eva, and that I think it would be a very good idea for you to do something daily. It's known as meditation. Okay, that way you can control what comes in and what comes out. And that because if you don't do meditation, okay, you're turning yourself into literally an energy battery. Okay, you get drained really quickly. Okay, now I do have videos on my YouTube channel, and there's a link from my profile onto my YouTube channel, and I do have some videos that you can actually watch that should help you to control, how much energy comes in, how much energy comes out, and that, because if you're open all the time, oh yeah, you're going to get tired fast, but if you learn to control it, and that, then you'll find that you got more energy more often, that at the end of the day, you won't be so completely knackered. I love that term. And that, so, anyway, so for people that are experiencing poltergeist activity or spiritual activity in your home, and that's one possibility, okay, is PK energy. Now, this stream, okay, what I'll be doing is, when it's ready, and that I'll upload it onto my YouTube channel. Okay, and at the same time, and then I did a stream on Wednesday. Okay, same topic, PK energy. Okay, and that will be in the link in the description below. Okay, so this will be on YouTube. The stream I did on Wednesday there'll be a link for that, as well as all the groups that I'm part of and all the pages I'm part of. Because I'm part of, I'm not sure if anyone of you have ever heard of the group SWYPT, which is Southwest Yorkshire Paranormal Team. Okay, well, that's the group I'm part of, and a very dear, dear, dear friend, Jane, and that is not only joins me on here, but she's also part of the group. And when it comes to looking for images and photos, like faces and photos or what have you, she's an expert in that area. Yeah, try again. Like sometimes if you do meditation, okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's good to get into. Okay, and I think also too, if you don't do the meditation properly, okay, that will make things go a little squirrely. I think that's the proper term. and that. So yeah, keep trying meditation, okay, and just see what method works for you best, okay, and try that, okay. And but like I said, the group I'm part of, SWYPT, okay. I've been try to help them out on my spiritual journey and stuff like that, and it's something I live for, basically that and doing streams, So yeah, so if that helps at all, that'd be fantastic in that. And now just a reminder on my TikTok account, okay, that my direct messaging has been permanently disabled by TikTok. I have no idea why. I really don't care, and that. So if you want to contact me, okay, use the questions and answers, or you can email me, okay, empathmedium2019@gmail.com. Okay, if you want to email me about anything has to do with spiritual issues, the paranormal, or mediumship, if you have any questions about even what I talked about today, and that, I'll do my very best to answer your questions. Now, the topic next week, okay, I'm going to try for is what is known as pareidolia, okay, another parapsychology term, okay, and I'll go into details about that next week, but I've done some research on it, and it is fascinating, and that. So anyway, next week it'll be, at least I'm hoping it'll be, the topic of pareidolia, okay. Okay, Ava, well, you have a brilliant day, and I get going too. We got a lot of stuff to do today, and that. So anyway, everybody in chat, bless you for joining me. And I had to block that one person that stole my photo. Don't people have anything better to do? I feel that person is very rebellious without social media. So I think they just do it just to get attention, which is sad. I wonder if his or her hormones are going goofy. And but anyway, so people, bless you for joining me and that, and I'll see you next week, next Friday. Okay, so anyway, if you have any questions, I'll give you my email or the questions and answers on my profile, and that. And like I said, later on, this live stream will be put on my YouTube channel and then under PK Energy. Okay, so anyway, love you all. Take care of yourself.